took me on this journey. Yes, hold me accountable, cause sometimes I need to know the truth. Sister, I love you. We're one in the same cause we're sharing the pain of the world as we know it to be.
Welcome to the Woman to Woman show. I'm so excited again for another wonderful Tuesday night to be here with my girls, the Beauty Flies. We are not playing tonight. We're going to be talking about all about insecurities. I'm have the ladies just come in and introduce themselves, their name and what they do. Come on in, Shay.
Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Shayla Williams. I am the owner operator of Shay's Corner. That is an apparel decorating company. I do t-shirts, bags, hoodies, you name it. I also work with other businesses.
Come on in, Sheila. Unmute.
Thanks. That would help, right? My name is Sheila Isom. I am an insurance claims supervisor, and I am also an independent nail consultant for Color Street Nail Strips.
Thank you so much. Come on in, Regina.
Hello.
Hi, this is Regina. I am the owner of Season and Fabulous, which is a self-care business for women.
Thank you. Come on in, Gina. Introduce yourself and what you do.
Hi. Uh, I'm Regina of Regina's Baking Academy and of Naomi's Delights. And I love teaching people about cooking and baking. I think it's important to have that as a life skill and I enjoy doing it. And also, I am known to make some fabulous desserts and treats.
And I'm Trey Kearney. I'm an author, speaker, certified life coach. I am an advocate for Black men, and I am a healing agent for women and men and families who have dealt with the devastation of infidelity. So tonight, our topic is insecurities. We're going to talk all about insecurities, where they come from, and we'll start off by let's talk about our younger days, ladies. And what was your biggest insecurity? Whoever wants to go first, fine. Just chime one in.
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead, Shayla.
Um, well, let me start by saying that it is also important, and adults, please be careful and conscious of what you say around children and what you say to children. Um, Growing up, my sister and I were compared a lot, and I'm talking from maybe the age of 4 or 5, and I have those memories still of people comparing my sister and I, and saying, oh, that one is prettier than this one, meaning my sister was prettier than myself. And so subconsciously, I think that just kind of, you know, metastasized itself throughout my teenage years and adulthood. So growing up, I was pretty much to myself and didn't say much, didn't do much. um, I was very skinny. And so I was called names and all that kind of stuff. So I was conscious about my weight. And growing up in Costa Rica, like I mentioned in our previous shows, in Puerto Limon, the culture was that we were told as girls and young women that men preferred women with a little meat on their bones. And so since I was just pretty much bones, um, I was pretty much doomed according to them.
Wow.
So yeah.
Mm.
What about you, Regina? What were some of your insecurities, if you had any growing up?
I did. I am it's 4 of us siblings, and I'm the only girl. I think I mentioned that before, and I have 3 brothers. So I was the darkest. So my middle brother, always called me Blackie.
Oh,
And that is, I used to run through the house and he would go, Blackie, Blackie, hey, Blackie, you're so black. And I was insecure about my darkness. So that was a really hard thing for me. And to this day, he calls me Blackie, but I love it now because
Oh,
I was able to find myself within my skin. But that was a real insecurity, and I thought I was too dark, and I was wondering why I was the darkest one, the darkest kid. So growing up, as Shayla said, be, be careful. But it was my brother that did that to me, and I
wow.
had to work my way out of that.
Wow. I mean, and I just want our audience to understand that we're here to talk about things that need to be talked about and to try to, give some practical tips and some resolutions to how to get past these things. What about you, Sheila?
For me, it was my eyes. Um, I grew up to hearing names, chinky eyes, slanted eyes. Oh, you must be Japanese. Oh, can you see? And then I started wearing glasses in the sixth grade. So that just compounded it. So it's like, oh, you really can't see. So for me, for the longest time, I just wished I had what I thought were normal shaped eyes. And I wish that, of course, I wish I had perfect vision so I wouldn't need glasses to further, facilitate all the jokes that people were making about me.
Wow, Gina.
Well, I'm just trying to see which one I'm gonna pick out the insecurity box. There, there were a couple that I dealt with. For me, it was. I think the two that stood out the most was when I was young. I didn't have my dad in my life, so my sister had a relationship with her father from like from the beginning. And so that was a big deal for me, always wanting to know who he was and um, wanting to see him and wishing he was there. So that brought a lot of insecurity because it was like I felt that I wasn't protected.
Wow.
Um, and then because I am the most chocolatey one out of all of us, I got the blessing of being the most chocolatey and wearing glasses. Even though I love my glasses, let me tell you, I love my glasses. I didn't really know that was an insecurity thing. I was more insecure about the fact that I didn't have my dad in my life, and I was the most chocolate. But now I embrace my what? I embrace my chocolate self. But back then, because I was the darkest out of five of us, we were raised by my grandmother and with my grandma, and grandfather, and my uncle. Kids can be cruel, so they used to call me darky and um, cold, and just really, children are ignorant. But when you that child in that age, you don't think about that as an adult. You think about, damn, am I okay? Darn, am I that black? And is it wrong if I am that black? Like, or your feelings are hurt because like these are they're my sisters and brothers. We were raised like sisters and brothers, and they cracking on me. So if you're gonna crack on me, how can I defend myself from the kids at school if they start bothering me? If y'all picking on me, so to suffice it to say, I was kind of tough,
Wow.
little tomboy, as a matter of fact.
Wow. I had a couple of insecurities, and it's funny because we have this, colorism going on in the world. And for me, I got called Big Bird because I was yellow and I was tall. So I always had the insecurity about being the tallest girl, that I would never have a boyfriend. Like, because they would say that to me. I was always in the back of the line, so I would slouch, because I didn't want to stand up straight to be taller. And another one of my insecurities was I still have small teeth, and they used to tease me and said I had baby teeth. So I would be like, baby teeth, and I'm like, well, and for a long time I would try to contain my smile so it wouldn't be, a whole smile, so I could just kind of sort of just show the teeth. But then, a couple years later, as I got older, like from, a couple men friends was like, you have a great smile, or and then people started saying to me, I wish I was taller. And I was like, oh, as we start to get older, people were like, I wish I was taller. And I know it's a shame for you ladies with the tans, because we out here killing it in the sun trying to get brown. And y'all naturally chocolatey Hershey kisses. And we out here like, I can't get nothing but red. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why people be complaining about their brown skin? I'm out here in the sun baking like a hot tamale and can't get nothing but red. And they talking about they too dark. Like, come on. And you know, those a lot of the insecurities come from the world, from media. You know, light skin versus dark skin. So let's talk about, you know, what let's talk about media and insecurities, right? Because we see all of these images and we see, you know, social media has gotten out of control. Do you guys think that is causing more insecurities for us as older women?
Absolutely.
Uh,
I think
it
it does.
depends.
As a matter of fact, it brings me just this morning they were talking about, Sex in the City is now doing a reboot.
Oh,
And so they have the three of the four characters, and they're showing their lives as women in their 50s. They all are truly in their 50s. And one of the characters, Kristen Davis, who plays Charlotte, apparently got was actually they all did, but she talked about how she got such a backlash on social media because of her
Wow.
age, the way that she looks. And all of them have kind of had to defend themselves for being mature women, because they're being compared to the Sex in the City girls that they were 20 years ago. And one of the things that Kristen Davis said was that men in their age bracket don't have to worry about those kind of comments. It's always
Right.
directed at women. The men are considered to be actually aging gracefully, where the women are the ones that are being talked about.
wow. Gina, were you going to say something?
I was uh I think with social media there's a overload of
Hmm.
the facade of what we should look like. And if it's not the commercials pushing surgery or Botox or some type of, oh, something wrong with your body, do something about it, and it's like, well, is something wrong? Like, sit-ups aren't enough. So I think that push to stay young or not to have a wrinkle because you're going to be looked at a certain kind of way, um it's it can be a lot, and depending on where you are and how you see yourself and where your values are, or depending on maybe the industry you're in, if that's something that you need to worry about having to look like the talent you are, like the skilled professional you are, to keep up. I just think it's a little sad when you see so many commercials around um getting surgery, or now they got this whole series of commercials and it's really around Botox, right?
Right.
But the way they couch the commercial is, oh, I've raised my family, I've done a lot, and now I'm thinking about me.
Oh,
And it's and so the person asks the other one, so how do you feel? Oh, I feel special. And it's about Botox, y'all. And
wow.
I'm like, really?
Wow.
What? So I'm looking at these different versions of the same commercial, and I'm like, everything is about trying to make us look different or not embrace where we are. And I'm like, that's kind of sad, because I've seen some women in their 60s that look fabulous, and they
Mm.
haven't touched, tucked, or nipped anything.
You
They
better
are
say
just
that,
naturally
Gina.
beautiful.
Come
I'm
on,
just
mother.
saying.
Come on, mother. That's your new name, mother.
Shoot.
We calling you mother from now on, because that's what you be doing. Gina come up in here dropping the mic. Shayla, were you gonna chime in on that as far as
I,
media is concerned?
yes, I actually was going to say that back when I was about in my early 20s, I wanted to be a runway model, but I'm 5'4". So at that time, that wasn't going to work. So I've experienced going to these agencies and them looking at you and just like denying you right away.
Mm,
So and I guess it went over my head. I didn't look at it as rejection. I just knew that, okay, I wasn't good for this agency, that agency, blah, blah, blah. But I was taught that makeup was supposed to, as I'm wearing tonight, it was just meant to enhance what you already
right,
have,
right.
not cover or distort. just enhance what you already have. You could tell by my age, by my neck,
Yep.
I'm not getting anything done. Y- this is who I am. And I think because so much information is available and people can hide behind a phone or a typewriter, whatever, they can say whatever they feel like saying and not realize that you're talking to actual human beings.
Right.
And you're not considering the fact that you may be hurting someone's feeling. And I also think that the people that make these comments, they have issues of their own and they're just projecting it on other people. But if you already have an insecurity, social media is not making it any easier. And these makeup tutorials or whatever I'm seeing. So one time I tried, I was like, you know what, this is too much. Let me just go back to what I was taught when I was learning how to do fashion shows and modeling. You use some powder to do a little contouring, a little blush, a little eyeliner, and boom. And then if I'm doing photos, then you hire a professional makeup artist to come in and do my pictures for the photos. And still, when you look at the photos, if it's done right, you look natural.
Yes.
Yes.
You look like you're not wearing, and you look like yourself. So yeah, it's social media. I think because too much is available, and people just have too much freedom to say whatever they feel like saying.
Yeah.
Regina.
Yes, absolutely. I do feel that social media has put a lot on the looks and body shaming and how much you weigh and all that. I am comfortable in my skin. I don't, you know, thank God I am comfortable enough that I am who I am, and that's it. You see it, that's what you got. And I don't fall for all of that, but I have friends that have gone to DR. They want
Oh,
to do this. I have a close relative that went and got this whole what you call that? They,
BBL, Brazilian butt lift.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
And I was like, wow. And like you don't you what's the flip side of that? What is that stuff they're putting in your body? Like what do you think that's gonna do? And then you have to sit, you have to sit on a pillow. They have to massage your behind. If you get any type of lumps, you have to go back so they can see what it is because it's foreign stuff being put inside of you.
right.
So it's a close family member, and I'm like, wow,
Wow. And how old
wow.
are they? Like, if you don't,
Um, I'm 42.
wow.
Mm.
We have to really like, we really have to, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't do things. And I had this conversation with somebody and they were like, oh, you're shaming people because they want to go. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't, really like, maybe if you do have a wrinkle, like a little Botox if your skin is hanging, because we are going through changes as older women, but we go to the extremes of not being able people not being able to recognize us, right? We're going to extremes now. I'm seeing like people, celebrities who I'm not even recognizing them anymore, and
Right.
they're setting a tone for our younger women, but older women are starting to fall for it. Like Shay said, my neck, it's okay. Like, yeah, I'm 52 years
Right.
old. Like, and if I want to do something, maybe, we're just the problem is we're going to extremes. I believe back in the day that they were getting, tummy tucks, they were, but now we're going like Regina said, we're going to DR, we're getting BBLs and our bodies are rejecting and we're becoming sick. And then what
Mhm.
do you do when you're 70 with a Brazilian butt lift? Like what I mean, 80, what I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out in my mind. What do you
Right.
do when you get to a certain age and those things don't matter anymore and we're forgetting about the internal, right? Because I don't care, and I said
Right.
this on my lives, I don't care how much you tuck, nip, snip, move, if the inside ain't right, the outside ain't gonna help because what's happening is
That's the
your
truth.
insecurities are showing up now that you're doing things to yourself. You're never gonna like yourself. Like one person, K Michelle, and I love K Michelle's voice. K Michelle is very, very talented. Insecurities have gotten her so far away from her music and the gift. We're forgetting about the gift that God gave her. Insecurity. Uh-oh, Jeannie, your phone was doing something. We're all not supposed to be. We're all, and in a Brazilian butt lift, everybody looks the same. If you put them all in a line, and turn them around, we wouldn't know who was who. So let's talk about how do we get over these insecurities? One thing I do know, and I want to say this out loud:
Mm.
comparison is the thief of joy. This is what
Mm.
you think that we are being programmed to compare ourselves to other women. Anybody can jump in on that one.
I think we are in competition if we allow ourselves to be. I think once you own who you are, and it's different for everyone, whoever their I amness is, whatever you identify with. But as we grow, it's a guarantee our bodies are going to change, right? As women, um, it's a natural part of it. But I think if we start focusing more to what you said a moment ago, take care of our inside, how we feed ourselves, how we take care of ourselves, it really does enhance what we look like on the outside.
Oh, come on,
And
lover.
so I think it's really important. While Shayla talked about the highlights, things are supposed to accentuate your beauty, not cover it up or make you look like a person that you don't even recognize when you look in the mirror. So I think we have to really take care of our vessel, right? Because the more insecure we get on the superficial stuff, we're not checking for the things that's taking care of our body, our organs, our health, how
Mm,
we're breathing. So while we over here trying to keep up with this, you 30 some years old, do you? I was 30. I was there already. Had a conversation. It's over. I'm here now. Go ahead and enjoy that space. Yeah, I want to look good at 54 years old. I'm 54 and I'm proud of it. Look at me. I'm not ashamed. Okay?
There you go.
I'm owning my stuff. This is me. Period. Okay? We not compete with no one. When I look at women like Viola Davis and I look at her commercials, I'm like, now that's beautiful.
yes,
She looks beautiful.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay? I
yes,
say that I respect all day. Okay? You don't have to try to look like a whole different. I want to recognize you after you put your makeup on. After
yeah.
you put your outfit on, I want to be able to say, "Oh, that's my girl." Not, "Oh, I didn't even know that was you, girl. Who's that?" Like, seriously? Come
It's
on.
it's
Just saying.
comparison. Yeah, for the people who are watching, thank you so much for tuning into the Woman to Woman show. We're here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New U Nation Network YouTube channel. You can also catch us in our Facebook group live. Thank you for tuning in. If you're on YouTube, please share. If you're on Facebook, please share. We appreciate you being here tonight. If you have any questions or comments, please let us know so we can put it on the screen and answer your questions. Sheila, what do you think about comparison?
It's definitely a detriment, but I think it's all part of the process. We talk about everything being a process a lot because life is a process. Um, but when you start to realize that you have a purpose and that
Mm.
purpose actually starts internally, then you are actually working the process of
Mm,
self discovery and self awareness.
All right.
You're not going to get that immediately, right? Can't
come
get that
back.
Right.
immediate gratification. But when you start that process and you become aware of it, then you start to think to yourself, I'm I'm different from such and such because I'm me.
Come on,
Say
doctor.
that.
The
Say
doctor
that.
in the building again. She always comes
Hello.
here with her PhD, dropping stuff on us like that. Now we can all go home.
We got more to talk about.
Come on now. What, Shayla?
I would like to piggyback off of what Sheila just said, and but first let me address the young ladies. This is something I learned coming up. Again, when I started modeling and when I started doing all that, because you have to take care of your skin. You have to make sure that
Yes.
you know you look good, and your skin is very important. So I was told not there's a certain age that you should start wearing makeup, and when you do start wearing makeup, just limit how much you do because you have to take care of your skin. Putting all of that stuff on your skin will eventually damage it and age you. All right. So let's go piggyback off of what Sheila said. And um, I think that when you start comparing yourself to someone else, ask yourself why.
Mhm.
Mm.
Why are you comparing yourself to someone else? And when you get that why and you figure that out, work on that why and then just work on
Oh,
yourself and learn to love who you are for who you are and what you look like. Find the
Uh,
things that you like about yourself and accentuate those things. But I think that why is important.
come on, pretty gal. I need y'all to pick that. Y'all all getting names tonight. Come on, pretty gal. Yes. Come on now. She said work on the why. Why are you comparing? That right
I
there is
like that.
that was
yes.
rich. That right.
Yes.
Y'all hashtag and tweet that. If you are comparing yourself to someone, ask yourself why and work on the why. Y'all just got homework, and I'm gonna
Mm.
need y'all to go do all that homework because Pretty Gal then knocked all of y'all over just now. Come on, Regina. What do you
That's
think
my new nickname.
That's
about that?
pretty
I
guy.
have nothing wrong about that, girl.
I take it. I take it.
Well, my sisters just said everything this evening. I don't know what much I can add to
Are we?
that.
Do you feel like we're being forced to compare ourselves to younger women?
I think so. However, I'm strong on my spot. I can speak for me. I don't do that. I'm like Gina. I've been there, done that. I was 30. I was
Right.
20. I'm embracing 62, about to be 63. And I
Mm,
All right.
mm,
All right.
love it. I'll tell anybody, I love it. Now, the time I didn't love it is when I came to North Carolina and I was in between jobs. I did face that job discrimination. They didn't see me, they didn't, but they could tell by my demeanor. And so so I stopped saying my age. But once I got my job, I'll tell you, I'm
mm,
62 and happy. And that's where I'm going to be. I'm not going to. And I tend to my garden, and my garden is me. So
mm.
my garden is taking
Oh,
care of me. And I'll tell any young lady, especially our younger girls, I do mentor to young ladies, young girls, take care of yourself, take pride in yourself,
yes.
tend to you. You are the most valuable thing, and your father put you here. And there's only one you. There's no one else like you, and you're here for a purpose. So, and I wasn't always like that.
Mm.
I had to learn to love myself, and it took a
Yes.
lot of years. There's still a lot of work going on, but once you
How you
learn
get
yourself
to
and
me?
you tend to that garden, and that garden is the inside of you,
Mm.
you're all
Into
right.
the garden. You know you're getting ready to get named. That right there is I am legend. That's I am legend. I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm 62 and I look good. I don't care what nothing
Right.
y'all think, nothing y'all say. Been down that road. Come on, I am legend. I'm giving y'all names tonight. Don't break the security thing. Ain't an insecure bone in none of your bodies. And I love that because we had to get here by going
Yeah.
Right.
through the process,
Exactly.
as Dr. Sheila said, like going through the process of learning that I have to embrace who I am. But that's not it's easier said than done,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Be real with
Right.
us. We could sit here and talk all day knowing that we went through some insecurities. Let's talk about insecuring and insecurity. Now this is a big one. Now I know this right here gonna get y'all. I'm gonna save that one for last. I'm gonna go back to this one. What would you tell the younger Sheila?
Whew.
That it's okay to be different.
Mm,
Whatever that different is, um, don't follow the crowd because it is not going to lead you to the real you. Let
mm,
everyone else be everyone else who they are, but who you are is who you are. Like we say, what God has for you is for you. God made you a certain way. God made you to be a certain individual. That's what you need to tap in on.
mm. Come on, Doc. Come on, Shay. What would you tell the young Shayla?
Whew. I will tell the young Shayla, you are good enough.
Mm,
You're better than good enough.
yes, I love it. Come on now. Come on, Gina. What are we telling the young little Gina?
That you are cared for, you have a purpose. Don't worry about what other people say because they're immature and they're trying to figure it out too.
Mm,
And you are destined for greatness because your father put you here to be great.
mm.
So embrace who you are, no matter what anyone says.
Mhm.
Come on, Regina. Come on, I Legend. Would you tell? Would you
I
tell
would
little
tell the
Regina?
younger Regina, let your voice be heard.
Oh,
Ooh.
Mm.
Because I was so shy. And I would get in trouble when my parents would go to school. Um, I would get in trouble for not talking. But I had a lot inside of me that was meaningful. So let your voice be heard.
wow. Those are awesome. All the people listening, I hope you guys are taking notes. Like you have a purpose. I think I would probably tell my younger self that everything is working out in your favor. No matter what it looks like, everything is going to be fine in the future. You good. And that's my ebonics. I'll tell my younger self, girl, you good, girl, you good. Don't be out here comparing yourself to other people. Embrace everything that's going on right now. And one other thing I would just tell my younger self, and I want to tell all the women who are listening and the younger women, just live in the moment. Live in the moment. Like we're so far, either we're stuck in the past because somebody picked on us, and made those insecurities come
Right.
out of us, like, oh, I'm shrinking over here because this person thinks this about me. And then we're so far into the future of what is this going to look like 10 years from now? What are they going to think about me? That we miss the moment, being buried in insecurities of the past,
Mm.
Yeah.
insecurities
Mhm.
of the future. We can't even enjoy the greatness of the present. So, oh, that was good stuff.
Can I say
That was
one
good
thing?
stuff. Go ahead, Trey.
Can can I say? And you know what? Trying to be or be somebody else or comparison, it's exhausting.
Yes.
It's really exhausting.
It is.
So
It
just
is.
be you. It's a lot easier, and because you already know, you just be you. Learn you, and you'll be good. It's exhausting trying to be somebody else.
Yes. Go ahead. Who was saying something? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought somebody else had something to say, but I just think that we are in such a world of comparison to because we're this is it. This is it what I'm thinking why I felt like we need to talk about insecurities. We are in a world of likes. You know what I'm saying? We're in a world
Mm,
Yes.
over likes. I need a like on this. I need to be accepted. I need somebody to validate me. I need somebody to tell me, and we are so inundated with that measure of who we are that we have all fallen to a trap of comparing ourselves to who has this purse and who
Hmm.
has those boots and who has this
Mhm.
eyelashes and who has those weaves that we cannot even focus on happiness and joy in the moment again because we're so busy trying to get attention. We are in an
mm,
attention seeking world. Everybody's an attention whore. And what we're seeing in the media, I mean, the celebrities, the older women, and I want to talk about this really quickly, and you ladies can chime in. We already see, the Cardi B's and the Meg the Stallions because like I think Gina said it. We did that. I was 30 with the booming body and coming outside with the Daisy Dukes and the bra top on too. When I'm 54 years old, I have evolved into something else. I'm somebody mama. Like
mhm,
somebody's, I'm a role model. I'm somebody's daughter. I'm,
Right.
somebody's looking at me now. So we look at Meg the Stallion and Cardi B and all of these little young ladies and these Instagram models. And
Right.
we're just looking at this and we're being trapped into, and then we have the older celebrity women now. This is what I want us to talk about. We have Gabrielle Union half naked on a boat. We have Megan Good, who's married to a pastor, not to judge her or anything, but you out here half naked for your movie premiere. We have all of these older women who are the basketball wives. They got their cleavage and their bellies out. Are we not supposed to be setting a precedent for them instead of them dragging us back? So whoever wants to chime in, please do.
So I'll chime in first. Um, I think there's levels, right? And I guess depending on where you are and how you hold yourself, all celebrities are not even, because you have a lot of classy women out there that are actresses that there's lines they won't cross. They embrace their maturity. They embrace their growth. For some, depending on what their priorities are. So I want to say to anyone that looks at those movies and the women vying for attention and that sort of thing, it's called lights, camera, action, and cut.
Mm. Whoa.
Mm,
When it's
good.
over, they go back to their
Mama.
regular self. So you don't try to be what they make themselves look like for a set. You live in real life every day. That's their job. That's not your job. Embrace who you are. Own yourself. Because we got enough insecurities that they got nothing to do with what we look like. We working on being better versions of ourselves, how we move, what we thinking, what we want to accomplish in life. That superficial stuff, it's like camera action is cut. So whoever's out there trying to be a certain kind of way, that's not you. Embrace yourself and leave that on the floor. Because when they half of that stuff is on the floor or the cutting board, okay?
Oh,
That's
oh.
not real life. That's what I got to
Come
say.
on, mother. Come on, mother. Shayla, you want Shayla or Sheila? I thought, did y'all want to jump in on that? Because mother didn't spoke.
I know.
I will speak for I guess the young ladies that have been around me. And a lot of them was like, Sheila, you don't look your age. You don't act. I don't know what acting my age is supposed to be, first of all. But nevertheless, you don't look your age. So I guess some of them feel that it's okay for me to do certain things. And I'm like, no, um, because, and it's not even so much my age, but more of my values
Right.
and how I was brought up. And it's like certain behavior and certain dress is not appropriate. And so I think about the young ladies that may be watching me and what I do. So I would say, don't look at the celebrities. Look at the women that are in your surroundings. Look at a Michelle Obama. Come on. Um, an auntie, just, and I dare I say in the church, because not all church women are, what is the word?
Virtuous.
Frumpy, frumpy, or I use the word
Right.
frumpy. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody, but yeah, some can be frumpy. Um, there's a way to present yourself classy, like there's a way to
Right.
present yourself. And Trey, you've said it many a times. You can be sexy without exposing everything.
Mm,
There's ways. And honestly, I've also learned that boys and men would be the same across generations. And this term I've heard, boys and men know who to take home to mama. So
mm,
there's the girl that they will take home to mama and the one that they won't.
mm.
That has not changed across generations, I've found out.
Wow.
So, girls, stop looking at social media, celebrities.
Hmm.
Really look around your neighborhood, look around who's around you. It's not always what's on social media or TV. Or these women, perhaps they have to, they dress this way, they do what they do because they need to draw the attention because of uh, uh, um, the business that they're in.
Right.
Well,
But outside of that, who's around you? Who are your other examples? They're not your only role models. Sometimes your role models don't say much, but they're role models.
again, the insecurities are trickling into the older women who are at celebrity status because
Right.
they want to be relevant, right? So sometimes
Right,
I see a celebrity doing something and I'm like, that's so out of the box for her. Like that's so out of context. What is she doing? But I understand the level of insecurity that can creep in when you are surrounded by new young actresses that are coming out to get
right,
new
right,
young singers that are, being highlighted on the Soul Train Awards and the Grammy.
right.
And now you see this and you're like, wait a minute,
Right.
like what
Mhm.
do I need to do? Is it my body? Do I need to show more? So I want us to be just mindful of the fact that we have to stand our ground a lot of times, like we talked
Right.
about a little bit earlier. based on our gifting and our purpose. Like we look at Lizzo, and so many people want you to mention the name Lizzo when you say she dressed inappropriate. They want to tell you you're fat shaming. No, Lizzo, some things don't look good on you, and
Right.
somebody should tell you that something. You are a multi-talented
Yeah.
artist. You play instruments. You can sing. You can rap. You can do it all. And I feel like, and we could talk about this too. Her insecurity makes her do way more than she should because she's so insecure that she's trying to act like she's not. So she does these outlandish things. And instead of somebody reeling her in to say, because back in the day, even the comedians do it, or even we do it sometimes. Like we'll bring attention to our thing, like we'll bring attention to our flaw before somebody else does. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I know I
Right.
have teeth. Like everybody just have baby teeth. We'll just
Right.
cushion the blow before somebody else brings it out there. So I
Right, right.
think that we're like many women do this. Like we'll point it out before we give you a chance to
To do it.
highlight it.
I
Mm.
would also have to wonder though if some of these, since we're talking about the celebrities, if their behavior isn't reflective of their own insecurities, as you mentioned, and what is that why that's making them do or dress or whatever it is. What's that
Mm,
why?
what is
Mhm.
that? Why?
Mhm.
Everybody needs to know. Sheila, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I think I'd sum it up with in terms of values and representation.
Mhm.
We know times are different, and I think those of us on the panel here can relate. You know, when you wore a dress, you wore a skirt. I mean, a slip underneath,
A slip.
right?
A slip.
A
You
Yep.
did
slip.
not you did not go out of the house with a scarf and head rollers in,
Mm.
unless you had a really special event and you needed to run an errand. Okay.
Mhm.
Mm.
Um, you did not wear your pajamas outside. Whatever
At
clothing that you wore
all.
outside, you did not wear when it was time to go to bed. So there was a certain decorum that went on in the household. Slips and pants, yes, yes. All this, someone just talked about slipping stockings. That's
It's
right.
like
When you were old enough, right, to wear stockings or
Mhm.
pantyhose,
Right.
but you just didn't wear them arbitrarily. You wore them when it was time for you to wear them in the eyes of your parents. Um, but you had a certain level of decorum because who you were represented your family and your household.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
you were taught to take pride in your
Yes.
household and your upbringing. That's where all of that came from, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what we've gotten away from because the values are being placed in things and likes, and the representation is seeing somebody have something that you think you should have or that you want, not
oh,
the foundation. The foundation isn't being laid anymore.
That's
So
a
that's
good
why
point.
you have, you have, and I love Lizzo, same thing, and I don't want her
Yeah.
to harp on her because she's not the only one. But
Right.
don't come out there and embrace your beauty, your darkness, and your size, and then turn around and go out half naked.
come on, Doc. The doctor is in the house. Regina, did you want to say something? Because the doctor is doing too much tonight.
The doctor is right on time. And another thing to piggyback on that, as far as family values and stuff, um, when we grew up and we did all those type of things, your kids didn't look. Your kids had to look better than you.
Yes.
Now that that's a value that you see dressed all up, and the kids look like, well, where, that's your child, like where, and
Where's your mama?
like where,
Where's your daddy?
you know. Exactly. So that goes with the values as well. You know,
Let's
those
talk
are
about
the
this. Let's get into this really quickly because our time is going so fast.
things.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. It
Yeah.
drives me crazy when our time goes so
Mhm.
fast. Let's talk about this. Have we sunken into insecurities based on the way that men are judging us? We seeing all of this online. We seeing all of these booties, all of these boobs. We seeing all of this skinny waist trainers, and we seeing all these contour noses and these wigs, baby hair, long eyelashes. Are we being our insecurity setting in because men are not? And I'm speaking for the older women now, and then we'll talk about the young girls because the older men have lost their mind. The 50, y'all better get it all the way together because I don't know what's wrong with y'all. But is it social media and are we feeling insecure based on the fact that men are giving us some sort of signal?
So I,
Mm.
I'm gonna tap real quick only because I won't stay on it too long. I promise. I think once we deal, some of us maybe grew up and had a really great childhood, didn't have any issues and stuff like that. Maybe something happened in college or living or what have you. As it relates to the men, um, I think a real man wants a real woman,
Oh,
and
mother.
so
Wait, mother. Mother.
here she go, here she go.
Mother. Hold on, mother.
I can't with you,
Say
Trey.
that
I
again.
cannot.
Can you say that one more time, mother?
Yes, I can. I think a real man wants a real woman. Okay, and that means they already know that all that cake on your face isn't your face. They already know that all those extra lashes you put on, like the ones outside the extra one you put on, aren't your lashes. And they doggone well know, white, black, Indian, Chinese, they already know if that's your hair or not your hair. Guess what? Here's a secret. A real man don't really care about that.
Woo!
They care about how you carry yourself.
Mm.
Are you good with who you really are?
Woo!
That's what attracts a real man. Are you good with who you really are? And when you dress up, are you dressing up or are you dressing in a character? Like who you are, who
Oh,
you be in these streets. That's
mother.
all I got.
Mother.
That's all I got.
Mother.
What is your dress up?
I'm about to
Yes.
hold on. I gotta throw my slipper at mother because I have my slipper. You better stop playing, mother. Come on, ladies. Chime in, Shayla, Regina, Sheila.
Listen,
Are we gaining
because
insecurities?
Look,
Well, mother done
pretty
said
much
all
mother has
because
spoken.
she said it. It's the truth. I mean, I there's one person, one guy I could think of that I dated. Unfortunately, I think our time wasn't right. It just wasn't. But he didn't care because he was younger than me. He didn't care how old I was.
Come
He
on,
didn't
pretty
care what
gal.
he didn't care what my hair looked like. He didn't care. We had many things in common, and we had commonalities in our values, which was family. We loved music. There was many commonalities, but he didn't care
Mm.
whether my hair was long, whether it was short, whether it was straight, whether it was curly. I mean, he's seen pictures of me now. He's like, you can wear any hairstyle you want. I'm like, well, yeah, thank you. But so, so she's right. I 100,000% agree.
Yes.
Hmm.
Come on in, Sheila.
Oh, absolutely. But again, it gets back to that process. And I think about it actually, every time I see a meme, especially about the false eyelashes, it's a guy that has posted it,
Oh,
Mm,
so and I don't think that the girls that are doing this are actually reading into that because you're actually they're making a joke out of you and what you're doing
yes.
because that's
right.
not what they want. They may give you that impression because you're giving them the impression that they can get something from you.
Oh,
Mm.
Mm.
and mother and pretty gal. Y'all, Regina, are we?
well, I'm gonna add to when you're with a man, like they said, the one that you take home to mom and the one you just go out with, when they want to go out, they want the Barbie doll. They're not taking the real woman. So the
Mm.
Barbie doll they're gonna prance out with, but they want that real woman. I've heard so many men to say, They don't like all that makeup.
Mm.
They don't like all the weaves. They don't like who am I waking up to?
Mm.
Where's men?
Come on.
To? What do you look like?
Come on.
What do you look like when you
Right.
get up in the morning?
I heard a man tell
Right.
us, he said, take your first date out to swim.
Oh,
So when you get in the water, you can see what's going on. I think that we as women, we really have to embrace ourselves and stop, and we have to dig deep, right? Because what we're talking about tonight is insecurities, and we have to dig deep, uproot that insecurity root, and find out where it was planted. And I think that we've begun to have insecurities because so long ago it was planted in us as little girls to be a wife, to be a girlfriend. And that became the most important thing to us instead of to be a happy, fulfilled, whole woman,
Perfect.
to be a wife or a girlfriend that if a man doesn't pick you, there's something wrong with you. We need to
Right.
be validated by men. So these insecurities started creeping in. Well, he liked girls with big butts, or he liked the thick chick, or he liked the skinny chick. And again, like my sister said, my beauty fly said, real men like real women. And we're not, and fake men like fake women. So let's just get that straight. There's some men out here movies and fake stuff. But is she gonna take care of you when your thing is wimping and it no longer stands up? Is she gonna take care of you when you have high blood pressure? Is she gonna take care of you when things ain't going her way? Is she gonna take care of you when you broke? That's a whole nother show we gonna do about what these older men are out here doing and running and thinking the grass is greener, but that's something else. But I think that as women, we have to understand that these insecurities are creeping in when we are not aware of who we are as a whole person. That it's okay for us to get coaching. It's okay for us to get counseling. It's okay for us to get good counsel. It's okay for us to be in a sisterhood of like-minded women that are our age.
Yes.
I am not hanging out with a 27-year-old to where I feel like where they're going, I have to dress a certain way or put on a whole bunch of stuff because my insecurity is going to set in. Oh, they go on a bar, whatever, bar 99. I know those.
Right.
You know, I don't belong there because
Right.
insecurity should not be showing up. You shouldn't be 54 years old dressing like your 25-year-old daughter. And we see this all the time. And I want the women to know who are doing this. Shayla
Why?
said, come on,
Why? Why?
Right.
Just know why.
Just know why you
Know why.
dress
Know why.
like a 25-year-old daughter. What insecurity has set in for you? That's so good, Shayla. We all gone home. Well, not us. And I'm not saying that. And I want us to understand too, and then we're going to give our final thoughts because it's 8:53. But I want us to understand that we will forever have little insecurities creeping on us.
Right.
Right.
But we have to be self-aware to know that it's nothing. I am beautiful. I am whole. I am good. I am enough. I was created in the image of God. There is
Amen.
like me. I am here uniquely designed. Nobody is supposed to have my lips. I am not supposed to have a BBL in my butt. If somebody turned me around in a lineup, we all look the same. Every BBL I see, and I'm not even knocking them. I'm just saying, do y'all not see that all of y'all booties look the same? It's not correct. Like your legs don't look right. You look like something has been added that wasn't supposed to be added. You are beautiful the way that you are. And one more thing I'll say before we do our final thoughts. I have encouraged women, not only young women, but older women. When you decide to go alter your body, whether you decide to get a breast reduction, and I know some people do that for medical reasons, whether you decide to get a breast enhancement, a nose job, a cheek job, eye lifts, butt lift, whatever you decide to do, I encourage you 6 months before you do, schedule your surgery out for 6 months and go see a therapist for 6 months before the surgery. So you know what, pretty gal?
Why? So you know why.
You might change your mind. Somebody might have planted a bad seed in you.
Yep.
And it just needs to be uprooted. Somebody told my sisters used to tell me years and years ago, and they was harmless, but we were kids. They used to tell me I didn't have no booty because I was young. I was really skinny in high school, junior high. I was really skinny for a probably up until I had my first son at 25. And they used to be like, "You got a white girl butt. You don't have no booty." And I used to like, "Nah, I don't want a white girl butt. Mommy." But I wasn't even developed then. So just
Right.
about these young women at 21 who are going to get a BBL, you're not even fully developed.
Right.
Right. Give yourself a chance.
Because come on, mother,
All I'm
go on, mother.
all I'm saying is give yourself a chance to be who you are, where you are. You are so worried about growing this or getting that. Trust and believe. You live long enough,
It's
you
coming.
gonna get some weight some places, and then you gonna be in the gym talking about, oh, I gotta get that. I can't have those chips I used to eat. So listen
Yeah.
here. Be okay in the lane you in. Embrace your beauty. The person that's knocking you because they say you don't got this or got too much of that, wish they had more or less of what you have. They dealing with their own stuff. So don't listen to someone else that already dealing with their own stuff. And now they're trying to make you join they get feeling sorry crew. No, that's not the crew you belong in. Embrace who you are. And if anyone's going to tell you something, make sure they're telling you from a place of love, from a place of sincerity, because they care about who you are as a young woman, not to put you down or to make you feel less than,
Mm.
because that's not why you were created.
If
I'm
you
done.
just tuned in, you are tuned into the Woman to Woman show. I'm Trey Kearney. We got Shayla, we got Regina, we got Gina, we got Dr. Sheila in the bottom here. We're talking about insecurity. And if you did not see us from the beginning, please go back and watch the replay. We come here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Woman to Woman show to talk about an untouched topic that many people don't want to talk about, to help you, inspire you, motivate you, and encourage you to love yourself. We are on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel, the station that nurtures your soul. We are here to nurture you and nourish you. We don't want to put out trash. We want you to understand that you are special and unique in your own way. And I love these ladies right here. We call ourselves the beauty flies because we have grown and evolved from the caterpillar to the butterfly. And we know right now in our lives, ain't nothing wrong with us. And those insecurities will creep up, but we know who we are. So we're going to go around the
Right.
room. And I'm only going to you, Sheila, because I see you first. So don't think I'm picking on you. And we're going to give our final thoughts for the evening. What would you tell people about insecurities?
So me?
Shayla.
Oh, okay. um, it is. It was said it's a process. It's something that we're gonna go through. But again, I go back to saying why. We don't want to tell everybody what to do, paint a broad stroke and say it applies to everybody. We are all insecure about something. I think is again finding out what your strong attributes are and focus on that instead of your, whatever you're not happy with about yourself. And if you're really that unhappy about something about yourself, just work on it and fix it. But especially when it comes to your aesthetic beauty, I understand that plastic surgery can be addictive. I was watching the Red Table with Gloria Estefan last night, and they were talking about this subject. And this one year lady was addictive to plastic surgery because she said it made her happy every time she had a procedure. So that told me that there's an underlying issue that she has not addressed, and she recognizes it. She actually said there is something that I'm dealing with, and plastic surgery is what is my drug.
Mm.
So if you know what that is, again, I go back to my why. Work on the why, because we're all made individually for a reason and a purpose, and we are all fearfully and wonderfully made.
Mm.
Um, and just embrace who you are. Somebody loves you. God loves you just the way you are because He made you that way.
Come on, pretty girl. Pretty girl. Pretty girl. I love that. I love it. I hope you guys have your pen and your paper out because we are here not to just play games. Really, we have a lot of fun, but we really want you to take something away from this. So, Regina, give us your final words.
As my sister Shayla said, embrace yourself. Be who you are. If there's some insecurities, find out where they're coming from. If you need help, get therapy. Like I said, I have insecurities. I had them from young. My brother called me Blackie, but guess what? I love it. And when I was younger, I hated it. But when I go to the islands or I go on vacation, I want to be the darkest I can be.
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
I've learned to embrace that. I love it to this day. My brother is, I think he's, I don't, I'm the oldest, so he's 50 something. He still calls me Blackie, and I love it. I embrace it. But I had to get through it. It wasn't an easy process, but I was able to decompose, take those layers off, understand who I was, love me for me. I'm not a follower to a certain point, but I'm not saying I'm the greatest person. I had to get help. I had to realize um, who I was, and God made me. He made me different than anybody else. I'm only me, and I'm here for a purpose. And I'm going to find my purpose, and I'm going to do my purpose. I'm still every day. I'm finding more and more out about me. And like I said, tend to your garden, and your garden is you.
I
Love
am legend. I am legend. Come on now, y'all are killing me tonight. Y'all came on
it.
me tonight. Come on, Gina, with your final thoughts. I'm scared of mother. Take it easy on the mother. Mother, take it easy
Okay.
on the children. Okay?
So this is what I'll say. There are some of us that have had the fortune of not experiencing things as children that would keep us in a space of feeling insecure one way or another. But I guarantee you, if you live long enough and you're growing and you're learning, there may be something that you want to learn how to do better or feel better or be better. Embrace wherever you are. Embrace your strengths, like Shayla said. Embrace your strengths. We all have something that's good about us. What the other person is doing is not your problem. That's not your issue. You are not in competition with anyone. So everybody out there with the lashes to this and to that, it's to highlight your beauty, not take away from who you are or make you up to be somebody else. So
Mm.
embrace who you are. You are the best version of yourself, better than anyone else can be. So learn how to embrace that, and everything else will be extra dressing.
Oh, oh, extra dressing. Mother.
Extra dresser.
Come on, Sheila. I'm trying to tell you, the doc is coming up next.
Well, I'm actually going to draw everything we talked about as an analogy. You know, that garment that you have when you read the label and it says to turn before washing, turn it inside out and
Mm.
wash it on a gentle cycle.
Mm.
All
That
right.
your interior, your inside is meant to protect the outside. Your
Woo.
interior, your inside, what's inside of you, your true being is resilient.
Mm.
And it's that outside that's really gentle. It's not it may be the first thing that you see, but it's being taken care of by what's on the inside. And be
Woo.
gentle with yourself. Again, as we talked about, it's a process. So you let it go slow, let it take its time, let it run through the cycles the way that it's supposed to, but very slowly. And that way, when the laundry is done, you see that that garment is still in good condition.
Come on, doctor. Wait a minute. She said you got to turn the garment inside,
Inside out.
put on cold water, and use gentle because
Yes.
it's protecting the outside. Oh, the inside is resilient. It is the outside that is playing the game. I can't right now. I'm listen. Let me get my final thought so we can get out of here. I'm gonna say that insecurities really come up when you just don't know who you are, right? Tap into your greatness. There is something that is great about you that once you just embrace that, right? Once you embrace something, the insecurity, the flaw that people pointed out, is usually your greatest characteristic. That's why they noticed it. That's like my baby teeth, my height. You know what I'm saying? Blackie, because your skin is so beautiful. Oh, you darky. You know, it's because that is the beautiful thing. It shines so bright on the outside. It cannot be denied, right? When people point, if they didn't see it, if it wasn't so special, they wouldn't point it out. Don't let that thing be an insecurity for you. Let that be your superpower. That thing
Yes.
you talk about, oh, you too dark. Oh, your eyes are chinky. Oh, you this and oh, that is your superpower. That is the beauty of it. Like when somebody says, "Oh, she's the prettier one." No, she not. You trying to make me feel small because you know I'm so gorgeous. You know I'm pretty gal. You know you trying to diminish me because you think my head gonna blow up. No, I want everybody here. That thing that people are pointing out. If it's a mole on your face, it's a beauty mark. Embrace that flaw and run with that thing. Highlight it, enhance it, push it. Say, yup.
Yes.
When they say blacky, yup, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Sweeter the juice.
Okay? Don't play
All
no
day.
game. So listen, embrace who you are. There is nothing wrong with you. And like my sister said, my beauty fly said, if it's something that you want to change, don't make it so drastic that people can't recognize the beauty in you.
Mm.
Because the more you take away, the more you chisel at the outside, the worse you make the inside. The more you chisel at the outside, the more you're hurting on the inside. Get inside with that therapist, get inside with that coach. Let them start to chisel away at that hard heart, those layers, them seeds that was planted. Let them uproot it and begin to just love yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy. The more you compare yourself to people, the more you will hate yourself. So we thank you guys tonight for tuning into the Woman to Woman show. We will be here next week, same time, same station. We'll be here next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our other beauty flies will probably be back in the building. We missed you, Netta and Theo. We will see you guys next week. If you have any questions, please follow, friend, and like each and every one of us. Follow friend and like Shayla, follow friend and like Regina, follow friend and like Gina, follow friend and like Sheila. We have products and services to help you out. And if you ever have any questions on any topics you want us to talk about, please let us know. Again, thank you again for tuning into the Woman to Woman show. We love you. Peace and blessings.
Woman to woman, you lift me up. I hope that I